The D&D community likes to argue about a lot of things. From optimal spell choices to unarmed fighters versus monks, there's always a new debate raging. One of the most popular in the world of Discord and 5th edition is virtual or in-person play. Which is better and which is worse? In this video, I'm going to make the case for virtual games and why what they have to offer isn't some consolation prize for having to play remotely, but an upper hand over home games. Virtual games through Discord or Roll20 bring a bunch of benefits to a D&D campaign. But there are 3 pros in particular that stand out over the rest. Number 1, it's cheaper to run a really fleshed out game. Number 2, it's easier to get a game together and keep it going. And number 3, there's a whole host of other helpful tools that work great virtually, but not so much in person. This is alongside a laundry list of other honorable mentions that make a virtual game the choice for lots of tables. So let's dive a little deeper into those 3. First up, it's cheaper to run. Now, don't get me wrong, if you start buying all kinds of token packs and subscribing to luxury virtual tabletops, you're gonna rack up some serious debt. But the fact is that building an awesome map with cool terrain is a lot easier with a few free online tools and costs nothing compared to buying terrains, squares, minis, and paint. For the GM out there who wants to track areas of effect, you can save yourself the confusion of a dry erase board map with M&Ms for miniatures without having to break the bank to do it. Second, it's easier to get a game going. Friends who live hours apart can play weekly games with ease by playing virtually. That means less time playing with random people and more time playing with the people you have the most fun with. It also opens up playing later in the night. An 8 to 11 game, 45 minutes from home, probably isn't going to happen. But if you can finish off that 11 p.m. game and roll right into bed, you're a lot more likely to play. Forget the game this week? A last-minute hour-long drive, plus the snacks you forgot to buy when you already got home from work, is a tall order. But having an excuse to order takeout and play some D&D with your friends from the comfort of your own home? Not so bad. The fact is, the person having the most fun playing D&D is the person who actually gets to play. When you play virtually, you actually get to run the games instead of waiting for everyone's schedules to perfectly line up every 4 months just for one person not to show up anyways. Finally, there are lots of tools that are great for the virtual game that simply don't work as well live. Having things like D&D Beyond and Roll20 works great for a virtual game, but not so much for an in-person one. People can just click over to a few tabs and check on a rule or check the distance on the map without messing with the larger game. In person, these tools are still good, but they quickly mean a bunch of people are sitting at a table looking at their laptops or tablets anyways, and inevitably scrambling for chargers every couple minutes in a room with like 2 outlets. Specifically for the DMs out there, prep on the fly is a dream in virtual situations. Want to toss a monster up in the mix? In person, you have to fumble and explain away the confusion. One wrong turn by the party and the $200 worth of WizKids minis you bought are useless. On virtual, you can have a new monster token and a map off of Reddit loaded in seconds. Virtual games get played way more often, let you play with your favorite people no matter how far, and offer a bunch of awesome tools that don't break the bank, along with saving you a 30-minute debate over who should Venmo how much for pizza while the DM's roommate watches Star Wars on full blast 10 feet away. So save yourself the trouble of having to do a 30-minute recap for your bi-monthly game. Free yourself from the shackles of Greg's roommate who's way into incense. Instead of taking the subway into the city to go to a cafe where everyone has to pay $20 just to sit at a table, play from the comfort of your own home with more music, more friends, and frankly, more fun.